The kangaroo industry in Australia is based on the regulated harvesting of the large abundant species of kangaroos. Limitation of the number of kangaroos can have environmental benefits, and is a way of meat production that does not involve intensive animal farming. Today we will share with you modern kangaroo meat processing machines that you wouldn't believe exist. So stay tuned and let's get right into it. Kangaroo meat is sourced from the 4 main species of kangaroos that are harvested in the wild. It's the current largest commercial land-based wildlife trade on the planet. Kangaroo harvesting only occurs in approved harvest zones, and quotas are set, usually around 15% to 20%, to ensure the sustainability of kangaroo populations. The kangaroo has been historically a staple source of protein for some indigenous Australians. Kangaroo meat is very high in protein and very low in fat, about 2%. Kangaroo meat has a very high concentration of conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, when compared with other foods. CLA has been attributed to a wide range of health benefits. Kangaroo meat is also processed into pet food. Due to its low fat content, kangaroo meat cannot be cooked in the same way as other red meats, and it is typically either slow cooked or quickly stir-fried. Kangaroo harvest. The kangaroo industry is based on regulated harvests through a quota system, as legislated by the Australian Environment Protection and Biodiversity Conservation Act 1999. Quotas are determined annually for each key kangaroo species in each location. Registered tags attached to the hide facilitate the identification of each animal from the point of harvesting through the meat processing plant and allow for product traceability. The 4 most abundant macropod species harvested from the mainland Australia include the red, eastern grey kangaroos, western grey kangaroos, and a common wallaby, the common wallaroo or euro. Simulation studies showed that harvesting 10 to 15% of the red kangaroo population each year is sustainable, but any increase above this figure may place this species in jeopardy. Annual harvests are typically below quotas because of weaker market demand or the capacity of the industry to harvest the quota when environmental conditions, such as persistent wet weather, restrict the access of shooters to harvestable animal populations. Wait, before we move on, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to share your love and support by giving it a big thumbs up and subscribing to our channel if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated with our future videos. Now, without further ado, let's get back to our video. The threat from bacteria and parasites. Since kangaroos are not subjected to routine husbandry practices, there's no control over parasites. Kangaroos and wallabies can harbor a wide range of parasitic, bacterial, viral, and fungal diseases that are not apparent in a normal-looking animal. Gray kangaroos, for example, may be infected with 30,000 nematodes from 20 different species, which are predominantly found in the gastrointestinal tract. Other worm species are found in kangaroo carcasses, with the large parasite Polecatus romeri often associated with the stifle joints. The prevalence of these infestations is associated with the activity of intermediate hosts, such as tabanid flies, which in turn are influenced by geographical location and season. Toxoplasmosis and salmonellosis are 2 infections with public health significance for food industries in general. For instance, cysts from the Toxoplasma protozoan parasite can survive in meat, such as pork, cooked to a rare level. Importantly, this degree of cooking is commonly used by chefs cooking kangaroo meat, fearful of drying out the meat through overcooking. This procedure really highlights the importance of food safety to protect the integrity of kangaroo meat as a product. More comprehensive surveys of kangaroo processing plants have shown that the prevalence of Salmonella and Escherichia coli in carcasses is no worse than comparable beef carcasses and those of wild boar. Thus, careful handling of carcasses and then their checking by accredited inspectors ensures that health risks to the consumer are not worse than the consumption of meat from any other species. These risks should be carefully checked in summer when greater ambient temperatures lead to the possibility for inefficient chilling of carcasses. Meat production. Harvesting and short dressing. Carcass cooling and storage. Delivery, field to plant. Inspection and packaging. Market. This flowchart shows the supply chain used to produce kangaroo meat, from field, i.e. from properties in the rangelands of Australia, to field chiller and subsequent delivery to an established game meat plant for processing. Kangaroos are harvested, i.e. shot, from the rangelands of Australia at night while grazing. A spotlight is used to aid with selection and harvesting, and to daze the animal momentarily in an upright position to ensure the accurate delivery of a bullet to the head and instant death. Once the animal is shot, the carcass is bled and placed on the outside of the hanging frame, located on the back of the harvester's four-wheel drive utility vehicle. Evisceration, also known as field dressing, is performed and involves the removal of the gastrointestinal tract, but can also include the removal of feet up to the carpal and tarsal joints and tail. The heart, lungs, liver, and kidneys remain intact as they are later inspected at the processing plant. After dressing is complete, harvesters are required to carry out a post-mortem inspection. The eviscerated carcass is then placed inside the open rig and suspended via a pelvic spike, as shown in Figure 3A. Skins remain on, providing a barrier that prevents desiccation and external contamination of the carcass. The rig remains open to allow for cooling of carcasses in the field. After the completion of a harvest, carcasses are then transferred into a field chiller for temporary storage. Research investigating factors influencing the eating quality of meat from commercially field-harvested kangaroo has involved the tracking of carcasses through the entire meat production supply chain. This work showed variation in tenderness can be improved within the carcass simply by suspending the carcass by the tail, as opposed to suspension by a single leg during chiller storage. The effect is similar to the effect of hanging beef carcasses by the H-bone, so-called tender stretching, to maximize tension on commercially important muscles of the leg and loin regions. The storage of carcasses in field chillers for 1 to 10 days provides a mechanism for the conditioning or aging of carcasses to improve tenderness by the breakdown of the myofibrillar structure of muscle, thereby improving eating quality. Harvesting occurred within the hours of 1900 and 0500 hours, and the average time taken from slaughter to complete evisceration of carcasses was between 8 and 30 minutes. After harvesting, carcasses were placed under refrigeration, being transferred from the rig to the field depot within 2 hours of sunrise and suspended by the tail. From there, they're sent to the processing plant. You can see that kangaroo meat is quite similar to beef and has a lot of muscles. Of course, they are the most muscular animals in Australia. Kangaroo meat is high in energy, protein, iron, zinc, omega-3 fatty acids, and B vitamins. It also contains less than 2% fat, making it one of the best sources of lean animal protein. Once at the processors, high-quality cuts are selected before being processed, packaged, and sealed to ensure product integrity. High-quality lean kangaroo meat is exported by sea and air around the world, whereas lean kangaroo meat is delivered to supermarkets and restaurants for people to enjoy. Development of a flourishing industry producing meat of the highest quality from animals harvested from a natural environment raises a number of challenges. Development of our understanding of the national requirements of the kangaroo, and then ensuring they're able to obtain these within rangeland's environment, will be important in understanding how nutrition might impact meat quality. Maintaining a strict monitoring system from the point of harvest to the point of sale to the consumer requires a process of control implemented to provide quality assurance. The roles and responsibilities for ensuring food safety extend not only to the harvesting and processing industry, but also to the government inspection services and to training of the consumer. So that's all for today's video, and until next time, goodbye!